कुंजा विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी सोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना सोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी सोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना सोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी सोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राय नम कृष्ण यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः हरे राय नम कृष्ण यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन हरे राय नम कृष्ण यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः हरे राय नम कृष्ण यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा जम सुंदर राधा जम सुंदर राधे जय राधा जम सुंदर राधा जम सुंदर Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Jagannatha, Jai Jagannatha, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Gauranita, Jai Gauranita, Jai Gauranita, Jai Gauranita, Nitai Gaurariva, Haribo, Nitai Gaurariva, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद जगवन के जैसी भक्त वेदांत सांशोपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद जगवन के शिल भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमय यमुनामाई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Gauranga, Prabhupada ki jai. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaye Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dhram Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Prajarane Vishesh Sunyavadi Pachat Destarne. Prabhupada ki jai. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, verse number 34. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, verse number 34. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarsinah. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam Jnaninastatvadarsinah. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarsinah. Word to word. Tat, that knowledge of different sacrifices, vidhi, try to understand. Pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprasnena, by submissive inquiries. Sevaya, by rendering of service. Upadekshanti, they will initiate. Te, you, Gnanam, into knowledge. Gnaninaha, the self-realized. Tattva, of the truth. Darsinaha, seers. Translation by His Divine Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because you have seen the truth. Please repeat. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because you have seen the truth. Since only one verse, so we'll cover today. It's an important verse. We'll just read quickly the purport and then we'll try to understand. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavad Gita 6.3.19 says, Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, the mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of a self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Try to understand. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yat Krupatamam Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramanantamaadavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Shri Prabhupada Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktan ki jai. Thank you for joining. So we are discussing chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, verse number 34. Very important verse where it is describing how to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Very important subject matter. And what will be the result? The qualifications of a disciple or practitioner who is approaching the Guru has been described, and qualifications of the spiritual master is also described in this verse. So this is the next section, fifth, last section of this chapter. So far 5 sections, and there is a connection from the last section also to this verse. So far in this chapter, Transcendental Knowledge, first section was 1 to 10, where it is describing about the transcendental knowledge about Krishna, how to receive transcendental knowledge, and who he is, what is his body, and how he appears, why he appears, what is the purpose, and knowing it, what will happen, what will be the result. So all this is described. When he will appear, all these are described in the first section. And then the next section talked about, that is the realization, our knowledge, and our relationship between the Supreme Lord and Jiva, living entity. And then the next aspect was the practical application of the cultivation. That is also coming up in this verse. Application of knowledge, application of whatever we, the relation we have and acting on it. That is the verse number 11 to 15, also very important. Then the next section, third section we discussed is the analysis of karma on the platform of jnana. Okay, so analysis of karma. What is the actual karma means, what is akarma means, what is vikarma means. So all that intricate details we discussed. That is the third section from verse number 16 to all the way to 23. And then 24, and 25 to 33 is the next section, fourth section. That is sacrifices on the platform of jnana. That is sacrifice on the platform of jnana. So lot of different people do different sacrifices. We described yogis and karmis and brahmacharis, varnashrama people, and different types of yogis. All these are described. Then now today's section is describing about the this verse number 34 to all the way till last. This is the summary or conclusion of transcendental knowledge, or the glories of transcendental knowledge and qualifications required. So more that from this almost 8 verses, very important verses. So the connection here, it is mentioned tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattvadarshina. So what here it is mentioned here, tat means absolute truth, the knowledge of all the sacrifice. Why it is mentioned? Because in the previous verses it has been mentioned, some people offer dravyamaya yajna, their possessions, their grains or different things, they whatever their possessions they may have, they may offer. So dravyamaya yajna. Some people may offer the tapo yajna, austerity. Some people may offer yoga yajna, different yoga postures, yogic exercises, yogic steps, the pranayam, we discussed that. So some offer the swadhyaya yajna, so self-study. So it says people are complaining. I don't know why it is not allowing anybody. I allowed everybody. I don't know why. 2 people told. I don't know what. I'll have to see. I have to change it to, I think, Zoom. But anyway, that means absolute truth. So why it is being described here, the knowledge, especially knowledge of sacrifices, because in the previous verses, different types of people are offering different types of sacrifices. But the real thing, Lord Krishna concludes in the previous verse 33, Sreyan what is it? Dravyamayo yajna. Sreyan dravyamayo yajna jnana yajna parantapaha. Parantapa, chastiser of the enemy. Sreyan means permanent, it is not temporary. Preya means temporary, Sreya means permanent, eternal benefit. What is the best thing out of all these sacrifices? Sacrifices done with the transcendental knowledge. That is the best. Sreyan dravyamayo, better than dravyamaya, offering all the possessions or other things. Dravyamaya yajna, jnana yajna parantapa. Because what will it do? Sarvam karma akiram parda jnane paripaste. So everything is situated in this transcendental knowledge. All the sacrifices are situated in transcendental knowledge. So that's why now, if everything is situated in transcendental knowledge, how do you receive the transcendental knowledge? How will it be revealed? So that's why the next 8 verses 34 to 42 It's been described, and qualifications one must have to receive and understand is been described here. So tat means absolute truth. Tat vidhi. One must learn to understand the absolute truth. That is the next point. Vidhi means tad vidhi pranipatena. Pranipata means surrender. Prakrushta rupena nipata. Pranipata means submission, surrender. So in this verse, three things. Qualification of a disciple, three things are mentioned. First one is pranipata, surrender. We'll come to that more detailed. We'll take example pranipat and pariprasnena. Pariprasnena means submissively asking questions, not prasna, but pariprasnena, submissively asking questions. How? Before asking questions, one must surrender, and then pariprasnena sevaya. One must do service. Then you can ask question, not just directly ask question. So three things: pariprasna, surrender, submission. The second is service. Third is the asking question submissively. Tad vidhi pranipadena pariprasnena sevaya. Then what will happen? Upadekshanti te jnanam. Jnanam is transcendental knowledge. Who will impart? Who will initiate? The spiritual master. Who is that spiritual? What is his quality? One quality is mentioned. Upadekshanti. Upadekshanti means one who will initiate, the spiritual master, realized soul. Guru, the Guru, will initiate that practitioner, the devotee. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darsinaha. So, tattva darsinaha. So, this is the quality of a spiritual master, quality of a Guru. Tattva darsina, one who has seen the truth. So, tattva darsina means what is that tattva? So, in Bhagavad Gita, it has been explained. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabde. This non-dual substance is described in three categories, three varieties of realization. First realization is impersonal realization. Impersonal realization means just like the sun rays. So, sun rays is coming from the sun globe, sun planet, and then behind sun planet is the Vivaswan. First verse of this chapter is describing, Krishna is describing, oh Arjuna, I have described this transcendental knowledge previously to Vivaswan, sun god. By Vivaswata Manu's son is Vivaswan. He is the sun god. So, so I have described to him before. That means there is a person. Sun is not just a planet. There is a person behind that sun god. So his name is Vivaswan. So that's why it has been described. So tattva darsinaha, jnanina tattva darsina. One who understands. So the one who understands these three realizations. First one is impersonal realization. That means Brahman realization. So and then that is the first aspect. And then the next aspect is Paramatma realization. So then that is the like sun rays is the first impersonal realization. Then the sun planet, sun globe, coming to that understanding that sun rays are coming from sun globe, that is the Paramatma realization. Then you go further, where the sun globe, how it is working, how it is working, then you know that person behind it, that is the full realization, that is Bhagavan realization, that is personal realization, full personality, that is the called Vadanti Tattva Vidas Tattvam Jnanam Paramatma Bhagavan iti shabda iti, that Bhagavan realization. First one is the Brahman realization or impersonal realization, next one is Paramatma realization, and then Bhagavan realization. These are the third one. That's why there is a one beautiful verse where I think in this place where I forget. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has been described where I just thought I saw that. Where Lord Brahma was Lord Brahma was Lord Brahma thought Lord Krishna as an ordinary boy, because he's acting, he's eating with left hand yogurt rice, and then he's playing with cohort boys. They are taking him sometimes, and he's taking others on his shoulders. All this is happening just like ordinary human being. Then Lord Brahma realized, he came to his senses. He's not an ordinary person. because he stole the cows. At that time, he stole the cows, calves, cowherd boys, and then he came back and saw that Lord Krishna, everything is there still, even though he stole. So he completely got bewildered. Brahma Vimoha Leela, Brahmanda got, even now it is there, even in Mathura. If you go, so there, then Lord Brahma realized when he saw that first Lord Krishna revealed him. He saw everywhere. When he came back, first of all, he saw all of them are there. That is the first bewilderment. Then the next bewilderment, then he saw that Lord Krishna expanded. He showed him that all, everywhere he seeing Krishna. Then he could realize. So this is, he completely bewildered. Then Lord Krishna revealed him in his heart. Then he came back to his senses. And then he is offering prayers in 10th canto, 14th chapter. Beautiful prayers. Why one must, there it is mentioned, not Brahma, not Brahman, is called Parabrahman or Purna Brahma. That's why I'm mentioning, not impersonal. People think that also is coming up. The people think that realization means impersonal realization. Absolute truth means no, Lord doesn't have hands, no legs, he doesn't have any body. He is Nirakar, he is Tattvamasi, Soham. People say, but when it says Soham, it means that is you are the minute God and Supreme Lord is the Almighty God. You are godly or you are minute. He is the greatest. Tattvamasi means you are Brahman, but he is the Parabrahman. So, and there is a relation between you. That is Sambandha Jnana, it is teaching. All these aspects, but they interpret in a different way. When they come to that impersonal is the 360, but the impersonal is only 180 degrees. Because when you cross over this material world, you go through Viraja river, there is this Brahman effulgence. This is only in the middle. But then when you cross over, then there is Vaikuntha. After crossing this impersonal Brahman effulgence, that is also coming from the Supreme Lord. Toenails, sun, and everything. Everybody is getting that effulgence. In the Vaikuntha, there is no sun. There is no any other external things. Everything is just effulgence is coming, lightning, all the light and everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Toenails, that much effulgence is there. Even the sun is getting that source of effulgence is coming from the Supreme Lord toenails. So imagine. So that's why it is everything is coming from a person. So where it is mentioned, Aho Bhagyam, Nanda Gopa Vrajaukasam, Yan Mitram Paramanandam, Purna Brahma Sanatam. So Purna Brahma Sanatana is complete Brahman, full personality of Godhead. Is not just impersonal. So when they say that Apani Padam Tat, Sarvada Siror, so everywhere Lord, he doesn't have any hands, he doesn't have any legs. If you ask him, if you talk to a person, you are trying to pray to somebody and you are saying that he doesn't have hands, he doesn't have legs. Like you are born from a mother or mother and father, and you tell your father and mother you don't have hands and legs, mother or father will like? No, nobody will like. And so that is the way this impersonal realization, people they think that Niraka. That means where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that when Shastra says that Lord doesn't have a form, Lord doesn't have Apani Padam Tat, that means, 1 minute, there is a verse I want to. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching this. So that, yeah. Apani Pada Sruti Varje Prakrita Pani Charana Puna Kahe Sigra Chare Kare Sarva Grahana. This is Sri Madhya Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6th chapter 150 verse. This is the process of describing a spiritual understanding with reference to the Vedic Inyas. Now, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving Vedic reference. He says, Apani Pada, this is reference from Svetasvatara Upanishad. In the Svetasvatara Upanishad, there is a statement impersonally, but referring to the person, transcendental person. The mantra is like this. Apani Pado Javana Grahita, Pasyati Achakshu Sa Srunoti Akarna, Sa Veti Vedyam Nacha Tasyasti Veta, Tam Ahur Agriyam Purusham Mahantam. So here Purusha means person. But the Vedic mantra begins with Apanipada, person, but he has no legs, no hand. There are two kinds of statements. That he is person, Purusha, Mahanta, greatest person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a person, but Apanipada, but he has no legs and no hands. He has no hand, no legs. It is working. Looks like Google Meet. Try again. Somebody joined. Thank you for joining. So we are discussing 4.34. So when we talk about the absolute truth, there is impersonal realization, Paramatma realization, Bhagavan realization. We are describing that impersonal realization. That is where it is mentioned. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, just like Krishna says, Tad aham, yeah. Uh, a person who has no legs and no hands and still accepts whatever we offer. So where just like Krishna says, Tad aham asnami, bhakti uparatam asnami pretatmana. That very word is bhaktiya. That means Krishna is transcendental person. And the Vedic mantra confirms, when the Vedic mantra says apanipada, no hand, no leg, that is not impersonal. Person, but his hands and legs are not like us. That is apanipada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains apanipada. Apanipada Shruti, Veda mantra, Prakruta Pani Charana. When the Vedic mantra says that absolute truth has no legs, no hands, that means the personality of God, its hands and legs are not material. This is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation. So very important. That's why Varje means it's not. Prakruta Pani Charana. Prakruta means material. Pani Charana. Hands and legs are not material. So that's why when somebody says Nirakar, that means yes, Lord doesn't have material form. Yes, Sachidananda Vigraha. Even when he appears in this world, whatever, he appears as a hog or a dog or whatever form he takes, tortoise or whatever, kurma, whatever form he takes, or horse, grave, any form he takes, everything is transcendental. There is no material aspect at all when Lord takes. Yes, he acts like sometimes seemingly material, like it is described when Prutu Maharaj conducted 100 sacrifices, 100 sacrifice. So that time, then Lord Vishnu appeared on Garuda. When he appeared, he acted like almost like a human being, but as a demigod. All the demigods surrounded, so then he acted also like one of them. So what he did, generally, they don't stand on the exactly like us. The feet doesn't touch the ground. So it barely touches. That's how the demigod, because they have those powers. The same way, so that's why in the picture of fourth canto, if you see, if you are seeing, yeah, where the Garuda is there and Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu is standing. His leg is not full touching. His feet is not touching the ground. It is only on the one of the thumb, one of the fingers. He's just standing. He's just showing. Prabhupada explains in the purport of these verses in this. This is in the fourth canto, second part 2. So the Lord is acting like a human being. He is also, and he is about to fall down. So that's why he is putting one hand on Garuda and other hand is as though like is kneeling. Is kneeling on Garuda as though like he is going to fall down like ordinary human beings will do. Lord will never fall down, but he is acting like that. That doesn't mean that he has a material body. This is a Brahman realization. So that's why in this verse, when Brahma says Purna Brahma Sanatanam, is the Bhagavan realization, is not a impersonal realization. So that's why we have to understand. So when we approach a Guru is not meant to be approached for some magic, curing a disease. If you go to a doctor, what people will go to doctor for? To cure a disease. So you are not going to ask, are you American or Indian or Jew or this or that? No, you are going to ask, I have this problem, can you cure disease? So you see the experience, then you go. So if you need to purchase gold, then you go to the right place, gold place, who sells gold. You need to know what the gold's characteristic is. If somebody shows it as gold and you don't know it's a fake gold, 14 character, whatever, less than 22 or 24 carat, then you accept that, then that means we don't have proper knowledge. So that's why Guru means one must at least have that Atato Brahma Jigna, one must inquire, one must be inquisitive about the absolute truth. What is that absolute truth? Is this. So when we say Tattvadarshi, the qualification of Guru, and it is mentioned is Tattvadarshi means one who has seen the truth, one who has realized, not only seen. Tattvadarshi means one who has actually realized it, scientifically realized it. That means he is in communication with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So the Guru is one, but there may be many personalities. The Supreme Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru. And all the Gurus says the same thing. What Shastra says, Guru says. Sadhu Shastra Guru Trinete Kuriyakya. Exactly the same thing. They will not differ from what Bhagavad Gita says, what Lord Krishna says, what Shastra says. Exactly the same thing. Then he is the real, the Guru. Means if somebody says something else, I may think this may be like this. There is no may. It is not thinking. So that there is no mental speculation. Exactly as it is. It should be as per the Shastra, as per the Sadhu and Guru, previous Acharyas. So that's why here when it says Tattvadarshi means one who has realized this truth, one who is in communication with the Supreme Lord. So further it is mentioned that when we look at the qualification, so what will happen when somebody approaches with submission, with this also with service mood to this spiritual master who is Tattvadarshi, then what will happen? Then the Supreme Lord will be situated, will be captivated in his heart. He will be come to that bhava, ecstatic symptoms and Krishna prema stage. In the second chapter, second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, we see that when all the cheating process are rejected, when he take up pure devotion service, sadhyo hrudi avaruddhyate. Avaruddhyate means compactly. Lord is being captivated in his heart, just like Parikshit Maharaj captivated Lord Krishna in his heart. Because he is such a strong devotion. He protected the Lord, and then when he was at that time only when Brahmastra was released, then Lord Parikshit Maharaj was able to see, and then when he came out from the womb, Lord Krishna protected him. He was able to see. Lord expanded from 1/10 of the tip of the hair size to 9 inches. He could see the Lord, and when he came out, he was searching for that Lord. That's why he's called Parikshit. So that is the quality of that will be the result of one who is approaching the bona fide spiritual master with submission and service and asking submissively questions. Then the result will be he will be able to captivate the Supreme Lord in his heart. Sadhyo hrudi avaruddhyate tatra susrushubi tat kshanat. Without a delay, Lord will be captivated. He is there, but we are not able to communicate with Paramatma. But for the living entity who has come to that highest realization by the mercy of the bona fide spiritual master, then that will be the result. Why one must approach. So Guru must be approached not for any material gain, not for curing a disease. It's only for to understand the spiritual supreme absolute truth and develop Krishna prema. That is the main purpose of approaching a Guru. Now let's look at the qualification. The qualification of Guru has been mentioned in Narada Muni story. Narada Muni approached the Bhakti Vedantis, where it is explained that Yasya anusavam yasya amalam sankirtyamanam munibir mahatmabhi. So that means first one is what their quality is. First, constantly chant and absorb. They are always absorbed in. There are three different different words are used in Srimad Bhagavatam in different places. One Prithu Maharaj's case, it has been described as adoksha diya. His intelligence. He is such a pure heart. He has such a pure heart in always remembering, absorbed in serving Krishna. That's why it's called adoksha. His intelligence, where Lord says, "You are serving me with purity of the force. That's why I am always captivated by you. I am always there. One who is serving, one who is leading the life with purity of force. So purity means completely serving the spiritual master, always absorbed. So here the spiritual master Bhakti Vedanta's quality has been mentioned. Anusavam means constantly chanting and absorbed in transcendental knowledge. In another place we also see the Krishnarpita prana. Their body, mind, senses, everything is offered. They are offering every day like Ambarish Maharaj, completely using everything in the service of nothing else. They don't know anything else. Like Srila Prabhupada, you can see completely 24/7 is always thinking. Sleeping, while sleeping, awakening, 24/7. There was never a time. Hardly you are sleeping 1.5 hours, 2 hours only. So that is the first quality, anusavam. The next quality is mentioned, yasya amalam. unadulterated glories. Yasya amalam sankirtyamanam. So they always chant the unadulterated glories of the Supreme Lord. They are always either preaching or chanting or engaging others in service. So something or the other relate to the Supreme Lord. They nothing else they do. Only about this absolute truth only. 24/7. That is their duty. This is the second quality. Next is also through another place, but we'll come to that. The third one from this 1.5.28. This verse, qualification of Guru is mentioned. Vijnana, spiritual science, one who is realized, one who is in communication with Supreme Lord. That's why Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee, because he is coming from the Vaikuntha. He is coming and he is in communication with the Supreme Lord. And we know, because when he got a heart attack 2 times while coming in Jaladuta, nobody first of all can live even after those heart attacks. Lord Krishna personally talked to him in communication in his heart. Don't worry, I will take care. Everything. So then from that point, the boat and everything, sailing was smooth. There was no disturbance. There was no seasickness and all. And when he came here also, many instances, but I am just giving only few. When he came to LA temple, Rukmini Dwarkadish, deities spoke personally to the Sri Prabhupada. Told, go and preach in India. Because when he was in India, he tried his best, but nobody was able to take. But when he came to here from Western countries and USA and preached, then when he went back, then everybody, because now everybody knows the result of it, then everybody is able to get attracted and seeing Western devotees and seeing the transformation, what has happened. So then they are able to, this is the Lord. Lord has communicated directly to Srila Prabhupada and many incidents. So because that is what communication with the Tattvadarshi means, one who has realized. Obviously, this is pure. There are different levels. Guru means anybody can become Guru. One who ever represents previous spiritual master as it is, just like a peon, just like a postmaster. Postmaster doesn't, when somebody puts a letter into a post office box, you will not do something, add or subtract or remove something. You will take it and deliver as it is. And that is the postmaster's job. Same way, that is a bona fide spiritual master is called transparent via medium. As it is, if Lord Krishna says, Manmanava Madbhakto Madhyajina Namaskuru, you will say exactly, think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, worship me. These are the 4 things. When it says Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, yes, it is happening on Kurukshetra where Dharma, religious principles are always done, executed. This is the religious place. You will not translate as Kurukshetra means 5 Pandavas and then all these things. No. He will not translate like that. No. So that bona fide Acharya means that's what he will represent exactly as per the previous Acharyas. You will not come up with your own speculations, body and senses, all these things. So that's why we have to go as per the scriptural, as per the previous acharyas. So that is a quality. As Narada Muni was able to get, and the third quality has been mentioned here, Munibir Mahatmabir. They are very thoughtful and self-realized by their behavior, practical behavior. So that's why you can see when Yudhishthir Maharaj, such exalted souls, so when Yudhishthir Maharaj, they are not even interested in for liberation. Their interest is only to how to serve Krishna. So how to serve Krishna constantly. That is only desire they have. There is no other desire. That's why, Prutu Maharaj's case also you can see, beautiful example, Prutu Maharaj's story, such an amazing. Prutu Maharaj is praying to Lord Vishnu, is telling that please shower your mercy and give me a service such that, maybe if you give me the eternal service where I will be serving you, maybe goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi may get upset. She may be get angry with me because I am taking her service. She always engage in menial service, pressing the feet and serving and taking care of all kind of activities, setting the bed and everything. All these are mentioned in one of the purpose mentions. This is in the, also in Pudumara. There it is mentioning, oh, goddess of fortune may get angry, and even if he gets angry and leaves you, you don't need to worry because you don't need anybody. You are self-sufficient. You don't need anybody. So please take service from me. And you are Deenavatsala. You You are very merciful to the poor. You may neglect goddess of fortune, but you are very merciful to us, those who are very poor-hearted. So please always engage me in your service, shower your mercy. See that how Prudu Maharaj, very personal. Bhakti is always personal. Very emotions are there. The rasa, emotions, bhava is there always. When we are offering, that must be done. Otherwise, Krishna will not accept. Tulsi must be offered, and then with emotions, with bhava, not savajiya, obviously. We shouldn't think that I am a cowherd boy, or I am a gopi, or I am this, I am that. No. When we come to that realization, when we come to that bhava stage, automatically it will be revealed. But externally, we shouldn't be artificially trying to think that I am this, I am that. No, then that is called savajiya. That's not what we are talking. Here, the realized souls. Munivir Mahatmavi, by their practical experience, when Yudhishthira Maharaj also, when Lord Krishna, then Narada Muni was surprised to see that Yudhishthira Maharaj sent a letter to send it to, give it to Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, to Lord Krishna, deliver this. So Lord Krishna taken that letter and went and as a messenger. Then Rajsuya also we see that, that the instruction is also coming up, the quality of obedience. In this way, Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, there it is mentioned, Diyamanam na grananti. They never asking for, they are not even interested for liberation. Lord Krishna is right there, but they never are. They are always looking for service, how to serve the Supreme Lord, always looking for service. So that is the quality of pure devotees. So when Tattvadarshi means they are always fully absorbed and fully serving the Supreme Lord practically, in practical sense. It is not sitting, they are not they are not bhajananandi, sitting at one place and I'm fine. Otherwise, Prabhupada doesn't need to come. He is completely self-realized. He was sitting in Vrindavan, Radha Damodar. He doesn't need to come to Western world or preach because he is executing exactly his spiritual master's instructions. So that's when this knowledge will be revealed. It is not by scholarship. It is not by scholarship. It is mentioned by Bilamangal Thakur also. What is that? Prasada Lesanugra Janahi Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno Charan Vichanvan. Yeah. So Atapi Te Deva Padam Bujadvayam Janapi Tattvam Prasada Lesanugra Janapi Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno Charan Vichanvan. It cannot be that this transcendental knowledge, this bhakti devotion cannot be attained by our scholarship. No matter how hard, he might be a great scholar. And we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita when Mahaprabhu reached Srirangam, one Brahmana was reading Bhagavad Gita left and right. Every day he was reading because his guru told. But he is illiterate. He cannot pronounce, he cannot sometimes correct, sometimes incorrect. Everybody used to laugh. But he didn't care who's laughing or whatever somebody is saying. He didn't care. Exactly, he followed his guru's instruction. And he came to a point, he is able to, every day he is crying. He is only seeing, when he is reading, he is only seeing Lord Krishna carrying he became the chariot driver and Arjuna is there sitting. He is giving directions, go here, go there, do this, do that. And Lord Krishna is happily doing it. And he is seeing this picture in his heart and he is crying. So, this is what the actual, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, yes, this is the devotion. So you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. You came to the right perfection of Bhagavad Gita. That is big, with intense devotion. When somebody is carrying Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir Yata Deve Tata Guru Tassevahi Katita Prakasante Mahatma. When it will be revealed and realized, the absolute truth, the knowledge, the Krishna Prem, when we serve the spiritual master, that quality, now quality of, since anyway we came to that point, qualifications of disciple. Here three things are mentioned. Then you may ask question, what is pranipata means? Prakrushta Rupena Nipata. Pranipata means surrender. What that surrender means? Now Narada Muni, how he surrendered? He was the son of a Sudrani. He doesn't have anybody, doesn't have much money also, but he has a sporting, childish and playing thing. That mentality was there before. But when he met with Bhakti Vedantis who initiated him, what did he do? The quality of a disciple is been mentioned. Guru must be qualified. That also will again describe. But the qualification of disciple, 1529, it is mentioned. Anuraktasya, first and foremost, Anuraktas. He must be attached. He must be attached to the Supreme Lord. He must be attached to the self-realized soul Guru. That is the first thing. Then, second aspect, what is it? Prasritasya, that means obedient. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Namanta. When we say offering obeisances, that is obedience. If you don't have, that's why it is mentioned. First thing in the morning, Lord Krishna is teaching also. When Lord Krishna and Balram, when he went to Kurukshetra for eclipse, they all went, almost they stayed 3 months. Eclipse was only 1 day. But they were so much engrossed because all the Vrindavan Vasis came, so many, Nanda Maharaj and all of them came, gopis, everybody came, they were intimately talking and conversing. Nobody can leave because after so long they were talking, they were meeting. And then not only that, then Vasudev, son of Lord Krishna's father, Vasudev, seeing all the sages were also came, great sages, so many sages were there. Then he asked the question, please tell me how I can, what is the, why one somebody should approach a bona fide spiritual master? Punarjanma Jayaya, one should conquer this birth, death, old age, disease, these miseries. So then he asked, Vasudeva is asking the sages, please tell me who they are. Krishna and Balram, he thought ordinary, at least he is acting on that platform at this case. And he is submitting to them, sages, please tell me how I can come out of, I was engaged in the karma bandha famsa, engaged in fruitive act, how I can come out of it. 18 wives and so much opulence, obviously Vasudeva is not ordinary. And he is eternally then father and mother of Lord Krishna. Devaki and Vasudeva are not ordinary souls, obviously. But he is asking, putting that question. Then sages fully described Lord Krishna and Balaram are not ordinary, they are supreme personality God themselves. They are not human beings, they are not demigods. So they described almost. So this went on, they engaged, they told, you engage in sacrifices. Almost 3 months, that's why this whole aspect, that whole thing went on for 3 months. Then after that, when they came back to their home in Dwaraka, then Lord Krishna and Balram, it is when Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. This is the first and foremost quality one must have. According to the Vedic culture, as soon as somebody gets up and takes bath in the morning, one must offer obeisances to a spiritual master, one must offer obeisances to the elders, parents. This is the first and foremost quality. But nowadays, hardly we see anybody doing it. Parents forget it, even to the Supreme Lord also sometimes we forget. And spiritual master, one must offer obeisances to spiritual, especially in the morning. As soon as, because that's what, as soon as we wake up, we should offer pranam mantra of a spiritual master. If we are not initiated, then we should offer pranam mantra of Sri Prabhupada or founder Acharya. It's very important because we should be developing attachment. Otherwise, that's why it is meant anuraktasya. If we are attached, then we offer obeisance. That is the first thing we do. As Prabhupada said when Garga Muni asked Prabhupada's disciple, I don't feel like I want to offer obeisances. Everybody was doing, but I don't feel like. Prabhupada said, no, whether you feel or not feel, once you start doing it, then you will get the feeling. Yes, initially, yes, you don't want to chant. What is this chanting? From childhood, nobody told me Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No. Once you start chanting, then automatically. It is Shastra, there are so many places it is mentioned. It is mentioned that all the Hari, chanting of Hari, name, Lord Vishnu's name, Hari, one name, who takes away all the miseries. Just the chanting that Hari is equal to all the four Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda. There is one verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahaprabhu quotes. All these 4 Vedas you don't need to read. They are automatically by chanting Hare Krishna Hari itself, everything is given automatically, the result of what. So, Hare Krishna Mahamantra includes everything. We don't need to chant separately this and separately that. So, that is the Yuga Dharma for this age. So, that is, we must be attached. But, yes, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there. Then why do you need a spiritual master? Because he reveals the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela will not be revealed. We are also chanting mechanically for many days and months and years. But it is not revealing. We are not able to communicate with Krishna. We are supposed to. Automatically that bhava is supposed to come. It is mentioned the ultimate goal should be according to the This is in Brahma Vaivarta Puran. So there this verse is mentioned. Yeah. Tadapi abalatam jata tesham atmavimananam varakaram anasritya govinda charanadvayam. When somebody is like acting like a child or foolish, then he will utilize his human life just like a child. So he will not understand, realize, unless one who is realized, one who understands the goal of life, then he will take up Govinda Charanadvayam. But otherwise, rest of the people are all this Apalatam Jata. Tesham Atma Vimana. They are thinking that this is their body, this is their family, this is extended family, everything belongs to them. In this way, they are thinking Atma Vimana. Everybody, you are from same place. You are from Andhra, you are from Karnataka, you are from this, you are from that. We are in that same mold, mindset. Too much attached on the bodily aspect. So for them, they are thinking in this way childishly. Varakana manasritya. They are not taking shelter. Anasritya Govinda Charanadvaya. Asritya means shelter not only is Supreme Lord, but he is representative. Without representative, will not be able to get revealed. That's why again and again, Supreme Lord is saying in 11th canto, he is speaking to Uddhava, he is telling, spiritual master is my representative. As I mentioned before class also. Paramatma or Chaitya Guru is called. There are 3 types of gurus. Maybe 5 types I will mention. First one is generally 3 categories. Vartama Pradaksha Guru, one who is showing the path. First time our mother or father or a friend or somebody gives a book or whatever. That is the first time where somebody is showing the path to the transcendental spiritual realization, path of perfection, Krishna consciousness. Different names you can give, but same thing. So that is the Vartama Pradaksha Guru, path showing person. Second aspect is Shiksha Guru, one who is instructing you to come to the perfectional stage. Is following, is as per the spiritual master, is representing, is instructing. Shiksha Guru. Then the Diksha Guru, one who is actually initiating, giving the mantra, Harinam Diksha, first level of Diksha. Second level is the Brahman Diksha, Gayatri mantra. So there are 7 Gayatris in Brahma Mahatma Gaudiya Sampradaya in ISKCON. So that is the second. So all these they are, is called Diksha Guru, one who is initiating Guru. Is again Diksha Guru. Shiksha Guru means one who is not giving the Diksha, but is as good. There is not much difference. Then these 3 are the general category when we say about Guru. 3 categories, 3 types of. And there is also one other place Prabhupada mentions when he went to Jagannath Puri. In that conversation, Prabhupada, Tirtha Guru, these Pandas are priests, pujaris, we meet at the Tirtha, holy places. They are called Tirtha Guru. So they may be instructing or they may be to some extent, but they are not the main personalities who can take us back to Godhead. So okay, who can give us the Krishna Prema, who has seen it, who has attained it, and is giving it to others. Yes, obviously, yes, Prabhupada is pure devotee, has attained it and is giving it to us. But doesn't mean all means some of them are at there is a mentioned from beginning stage to Krishna Prema. There are many stages in bhakti. Somebody might be at a Nishtal age, somebody might be in a Ruchi stage, somebody might be in Baba stage, spiritual master. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't surrender. So they can take also, because as long as they're representing previous spiritual masters, they can take us back to Godhead. So, यही कृष्ण तत्व हे गुरु होय. हमारा आज्ञा है गुरु तारे देश. One who is teaching the what Krishna says, what Guru previous Acharya says, he is Guru. Anybody can become Guru as long as it doesn't matter whether what background he came from, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or whatever. This is the caste or the birth is not the criteria. Criteria is one who is what is qualities there is mentioned. Disciple Narada Muni's qualities mentioned. Because he was Anuraktas, he was so much attached to hear, so much attached. That also Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Prabhupada met in 1933, Prabhupada told, I want to initiate him. Why? Very patiently hears. Second, he is always be prepared to be controlled by the Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that says, to Prakashananda Saraswati, and all these Mayavadis, impersonalists, they came. They said, why are you chanting? Why are you sitting at a dirty place and the bathroom place and then chanting? You are supposed to read Vedanta Sutra. Then Mahaprabhu told, Guru more murkha deki karila syasan. Chapter 771 verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. There. So, so that means one must be ready to be controlled by Guru. So not obviously false Guru or Savajiya, one who is not qualified. Now the qualifications I mentioned, we will discuss detail further also. So that's why the qualifications of disciple means obedient. Prasritasya, namanta eva. So in Brahma's prayers also this is coming up. Gnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva. One must offer his obeisances. So every day in the morning one must offer obeisance to spiritual master or otherwise Prabhupada and the Lord. Both. One must chant his pranam mantra. This is the first and foremost duty. Prutu Maharaj also mentioned. And when you receive a guest, first thing you must wash their feet. Etat padyam. So one must wash the feet. This is the Vedic culture, and Prutu Maharaj did that. And Lord Krishna and Balram showing that also in the example when Vasudeva, he immediately the next day morning he offered obeisances. Lord, even though Vasudeva heard that he is not the supreme personality of Godhead, but Lord Krishna and Balram is teaching, and then they took to Sandeepan Muni initiation, and then 64 arts they learned very quickly. They are so menially serving. So this is the culture. This is what Lord is showing himself. How much he is attached to service to Guru. Anuraktasya, obedient also. Not he was not puffed up. So obedient. And then hata ena saha, free from sins. Four regulative principles are there. Prabhupada given. And then that Shastra is giving. Hata ena saha. Narada Muni was free from all the sinful activity. The four things. And then Shraddha Dhanasya, very faithful. That means he has a faith that Guru knows the transcendent subject matter. Guru knows, Guru has realized that Guru is representing previous spiritual masters. Guru is talking exactly the same thing. He has faith. He doesn't have any doubts. Then no need to surrender. Don't accept somebody whom you cannot surrender. That's why the 6 months to 1 year period is there, or some period, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, some period is there, because if you cannot surrender, then no point in taking, because you should be able to hear and then you should be able to surrender. If you have doubts, oh, he may be not qualified, or he may be this, he may be that, or he may not know this, he may not know this. Yes, Guru doesn't mean he knows material things. Don't ask him that where I can buy jewelry, or don't ask him how can I get job, or don't ask him how to cure a disease. Don't ask him how I can educate my kids. This is not the job of a guru. Especially if he is sannyasi, never married, then we shouldn't ask. As if you ask, then he will guide that. Ask these my disciples who are in that growth ashram. Ask them, or somebody who has perfected or did nicely. Then ask them and take the instruction from them. But otherwise, Guru is not meant for that purpose. Guru is meant to reveal the most confidential knowledge, and practical application, how you can lead your life to become successful. Anyway, Shraddha is faithful. Then the fifth one, Dantasya, one who subjugated the senses. So initially, the Narada Muni was playing and sportive because he was child, small. But after he started serving these Bhakti Vedantis who initiated, then he became control his senses. He became silent. He was not talking just like whatever he wants. No, he was very much, he was grave. That's why you see Srila Prabhupada is almost, most of the time is grave. Spiritual master, because sometimes he may be near us, we may be in the car, we may be in the home next to him. We shouldn't be wasting his time. We shouldn't be just because he's there, let me ask, say something, do something. No, we should be very careful what we ask, what we say, what we do in front of spiritual master. So yes, we can ask questions, no problem, but we should be asking relevant questions. We shouldn't just simply is there, let me do something. No, that's not. So controlling the senses, subjugated senses. Then the sixth one is strictly following with body and mind, anucharasya. So whatever they say, Bhakti Vedanta is exactly followed. That's why when they left after initiation, after 4 months they left. Initiated him, they instructed clearly what's supposed to be done, how to worship the deity and how to follow the process, how to chant, everything they described, and they left. Then he continued on very quickly, rapidly. He came from Madhav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, then Ananda Nivrutti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and he attained. He is able to hear from Lord Krishna within the heart. And the Lord told, now again you will not see me. After Brahma's life is over, this life is over, next life you will become my devotee. You will come to me. So until that point, I just to encourage you, to inspire you. That is another quality. One who offers his service submissively to a spiritual master, then he will inspire. The spiritual master's duty is to inspire. But if the disciple, if themselves is not inquisitive, is not doing proper service, is not merely serving, is not submissive, then obviously Guru doesn't get inspired to actually reveal the confidential truth, give you any personal service. Because that we must be ready to submissively serve. We must be very attached. We must be obedient. We must be very faithful. We must be constantly thinking how I can serve, how I can follow his instruction. So this is, then naturally, then automatically this will happen. Sweta Swatarupam 6.23. This Isya Deve Parabhakti Ratha Deve Tata Guru Tasyeva Hi Katida Prakasantema. Then everything will be revealed. He will reveal. Spiritual knowledge, actual confidential knowledge will be revealed. So, in this way, it is explained. The 1520 Tasya ivam me anuraktasya prasritasya hata ena saha sadadanasya balasya dantasya anucharasya cha. 1529. This is the qualification of disciple. Qualification of Guru. And also it is mentioned intense greed one must develop. One must intense greed to serve the spiritual master and Supreme Lord and devotees. This must be there. That's why it is how it will come, either chanting or the service, everything will come by practice. Narada Muni practiced exactly as it is. If there is no proper practice, consistent practice, then we cannot come to this stage. We cannot become anuraktasya, neither we can become obedient. All these things will come naturally if we follow the instructions. That is the main point here. And then gradually we will develop this greed, intense greed. Tatra laulyam ekala mulyam. Krishna Bhakti Rasabhavita, Rasapa Goswami's main statement. So eager to, there it is mentioned, Tatra Lolyam Ekalam. What does it mean? One must be very, very eager to see the lotus feet of Krishna in this very life. One must be very eager to talk to Krishna, communicate with Lord Krishna in this very life. And that means how much eagerness we must have. It's not easy. That means we must be spending considerable time with serious attention, with rapt attention. So that the Guru's quality is been mentioned in Mundaka Upanishad and also in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mundaka Upanishad, Prabhupada quotes again and again. Tad Vijnanardam Sagurum Eva Abhigachyet Samit Paniyam Brahman Srotriyam Brahmanishtam. What is the qualification of Guru? Srotriyam. Tattvadarshi means that also, this also comes under that category. Srotriya means he is receiving, exactly is receiving transcendental knowledge from the previous spiritual master and he is speaking exactly the same thing. He is not adding some of his own ideas and thoughts. Yes, we must understand the principle will be the same. Details can be different. The Guru can speak the principle of the previous spiritual master, the same thing. Like chanting, the hearing, the reading, the main 64 items, Nectar, Devotion, Rupa Goswami, 7th or 8th chapter, very, very important. 64 items in exchanging devotion service, very important. More we do out of those 64, more we will be able to perfect our life. So, and then Guru will reveal accordingly. So, that's why it's very much. Srotriyam means one must, one who is exactly representing the principle. Details can be different, just like again, each and every individual is different. So if somebody who is not able to, finish the 16 round because he has too much work and he has so many duties to perform, home duties and office duties, then yes, that spiritual master may tell, okay, you can chant maybe a few rounds, 12 rounds on the chanting beads and 4 rounds on the, while walking, clicker or count. So for a time being, because what can be done, because he doesn't have time to chant on the beats because of his the way his schedule is, his everything is, his life activities. So like this is detail. Principle is chant 16 round, but detail can be different. So like that, the details can be different. That is fine, but the principle cannot be changed. So because each individual practical bhakti is practical. So and it is personal, and it is filled with rasa and emotions, bhava. So each person is different, and according to his situation, time, place, circumstances, spiritual master and Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru will instruct according to them, that person. It's the time, place, Desha Kala Patra, that also is mentioned in Shastra. So accordingly, that's what Srila Prabhupada also did that, so many things. Otherwise, in India, you see that nobody gives Diksha to, especially second initiation, Gayatri, Brahman Diksha to women. In most of Sampradaya, this is not given, but Prabhupada has given. So this is principle is there because Mahaprabhu is telling anybody can become a guru, and there are a few examples. So, but the details can be different. So, in general, yes, in India this might be big this thing, but obviously Prabhupada has given. So now nobody has question because he is a pure devotee. For a preaching purpose, he is completely pure in his heart. So, and he is a previous acharyas. Then that's why boldly he did that. So there is no problem. But as long as in that state of consciousness, in that, then it can be done. So that can be looked at in that way. So that is Strotriyam Brahmanishtam. Not only is represent previous acharyas exactly like that, Brahmanishtam means he is always fixed in Brahman, not just impersonal, but actual personal realization. He is fixed in absolute truth. He is always fixed in Krishna. How to execute, what I have to do, how can I increase, how can I implement the different instructions spiritual masters so Prabhupada might have given to his disciples. How I can implement, so how I can quickly complete the instruction given. How can I execute? This is the constant meditation. So that is the Brahmanishta means he is fixed always in that taking care of the Guru's order. And we see that again and again. Narada Muni is this example I was telling. Then we see that Narottam Das Thakur, Loknath Goswami. Narottam Das Thakur has been told by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you become a Guru. You take Guru. Loknath Goswami is your Guru. So then he went and menially served. So much attached that again Bhaktivinoda Thakur told Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, you should take initiative, otherwise don't come home from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Then he went and begged, then he didn't, he declined initially. Later on, but by seeing his sincerity, then he gave. So in this way, so one must be very serious, be attached. One must be fixed up. Disciple must be fixed up, and the Guru also must be both. Then that's why in Narada Muni's case, Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. In this case, Bhakti Vedants were fixed up, realized, Tattvadarshis. They have seen, they have realized, they have communicated with the Lord, they are in communication with the Lord, and they are able to see. But here, Narada Muni also has all the qualification of disciple. That's why he is able to attain. So, Tad Vijnanardam Savgurum Eva Abhigachet. Sabde Parecha Nishnadam Brahman Upasamasrenam. That is another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. Sabde Parecha, Shabde Parecha means transcendental sound. The transcendental knowledge, absolute truth, where it came from? It came from the mouth of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Obviously, Brahma received in the heart. Tene Brahmadaya Adikave. All these Vedas came from the Apaurusha. Yeah, it is not coming from a man-made knowledge. No. People think that Vyasadeva, there is no Vyasadeva, there is a Mopadeva, whatever. The people come up with all their own ideas and thoughts. But because the historical evidence is already given in 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th chapter, general history, if you look at it, all the previous kings, who has ruled it, and who's going to rule it, and in the future who's going to rule it, everything is given. Where is the question of confusion or speculation? So much evidence is being given, and then still archaeological evidence is coming up more and more. Then why to speculate when things are clear? All the evidences are showing clearly. So there is personality. So nothing is running without a person behind it. So that's why we have to go by the Shabda Brahman, transcendental sound. This is Vedic knowledge. So that's why Sabde Parech Nishnad, and he is expert. He has realized it. He is expert in Shastra. and he is able to convince the bhakta, devotee, practitioner, disciple. Sabde parecha nishnadam. Nishnadam is very expert in nishnadam. Brahmani upasamasrenam. In Ramana Sampradaya, that is also called this samasrenam. They call the initiation process, first level, samasrenam. Upasamasrenam. This is bringing close disciple close to the Supreme Lord, bringing one step close. This is just a beginning. Initiation is just a beginning. But following the instruction of spiritual master is the actual real initiation. That is the main core principle one must take care, one must do, one must follow, one must execute. That's what he has to be reminded. When we put tilak, that's what we must be reminded. I am the servant of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, servant of my Guru, servant of devotees, servant of Tulsi Maharani. This should be the reminded when we put tilak. Then we'll be acting every day in that way. So that way we'll be able to come to this perfection of life by following this qualification of disciple and qualification of guru. So I think we were already over the time. But anyway, this concluding basically the 4 steps Rupa Goswami says, and we will conclude. Adav Guru Ashram, one must approach bona fide spiritual master and bona fide sampradaya. And Saddharma Prucha, one must ask. Vishramba Sevana, one must serve. Like Narada Muni served him, Bhakti Vedantis, very menially. Like Narottam Das Thakur served Lokanath Goswami, cleaned all the, everything, stool and urine, everything. Lokanath Goswami found out. Then because he was not ready to give. So initiate, like we see that another also, Saranga Thakur in Chaitanya, in Jagannath Puri also. He was not ready to. He was thinking, I'm low. I cannot initiate. I cannot become a guru. Then Mahaprabhu told, no. Tomorrow, whoever first you meet, you are making a disciple. You have to become a guru. Then already he said, okay, he accepted finally. Then he met a dead body when he went to Ganga to do his morning duties. Then he initiated. Then he became alive. The dead body became alive and they became a disciple. So this is when the order of Krishna vina mrityum na tarantano. What is it? Krishna vina tare nahi pravartan. Without Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru's order, we cannot preach. We cannot transform anybody. Neither we can transform ourselves nor we can transform anybody. The guaranteed, yes, we can chant Hare Krishna for hundreds of years, but it cannot be revealed. So, because when the spiritual master himself is communication means is Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is being revealed to him. That means the glories of the holy name, a full taste, ecstatic bliss when he is chanting. Rupa is transcendental form of the Supreme Lord is being revealed. Guna, qualities is being revealed. And Leela is pastimes is being revealed. Srila Prabhupada is in that category. Okay, so the disciples, maybe some are, I don't know, I'm not at that level, I cannot comment. But Srila Prabhupada, I can 100% say that Srila Prabhupada is at that level. He is completely in communication with the Supreme Lord. Hundreds of examples we can see throughout his life. So because he exactly followed his spiritual master. So so that's why we can see clearly everything is revealed to him, and he is able to 100% with focus, without any ambiguity, everywhere in his books, purports, in his classes, crystal clear. Everything is perfect with examples. Sabde parejane, that's what Nishnata means. No ambiguity. Anything you ask, it's like a rock solid. There is no question. So many people argued and everything. It's clear with examples. Prabhupada could answer because everything is revealed, everything is clear. So for him, there is no question of And Prabhupada was grave, soft, and also is like a thunderbolt, ready to chastise, ready to correct disciples. He knows exactly. So that is the perfection of. That is what real guru means. He knows exactly what to be done at what time. So, anyway, so that is what Madhav Guru Ashram, Saddharma Visramba Sevanam, and Saddharma Prucha. Then you ask questions after submissively serve, and then Sadhu Margangamana. These 4 things one must remember. And the another way to understand whether one is qualified or not, a spiritual master, is is been mentioned here. Avyartha kalatvam namagana sadaruchi pritita vasati stale. Is so much compassionate and forgiveness. Avyartha kalam, he doesn't waste time. Namagana sadaruchi is always so much taste for all this. Krishna contact. Pritita vasati stale. Wherever he is always carrying the holy place in his heart, and he is making every place wherever he goes holy place. So he's always in that, and he's always forgiving others, compassionate. He's not envious of anyone. That also is very important. So he doesn't become angry. So yes, transcendental anger may be there, but not like material anger. So all these are the qualifications. He doesn't use his disciples in for material purposes. So all these because that's what we see in today's world. Everybody is guru. Everybody talks about Krishna only, but they interpret their own ways, and then this is what they use his disciples. Their disciples in their own for their purpose and material purpose. But that is not actually real guru means. So real guru means only they must be engaged in Krishna's service, his spiritual master service. That is only duty, not for any material to gain money or to get this, get that. No, that's not the purpose of a bona fide spiritual master. So that's not the guru qualifications. So the guru means the guru is only one. So God is only one. Lord Krishna and the Guru is only one, because everybody exactly the same thing. Lord Balram, Adi Guru, whatever Lord Krishna is telling, exactly they repeat. That's what the Guru means. Anybody who doesn't follow, that means he is not a Guru. He is something else. He is Guru. So Bhakti Siddhanta, Guru means a cow. So he is not actual Guru. So we'll stop here. So I think we have to discuss next week also. I think this is such a topic. There is no end to discuss about Guru Tattva, Sishya Tattva. So we must understand the relationship between Guru and Sishya, disciple. So many examples of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and so many examples on Shastra, previous acharyas from all sampradayas we see. So many examples from Ramana Sampradaya, our Sampradaya, so many, hundreds of examples. Chaitanya Charitamrita has hundreds of examples. How menially serving. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, showing the personal examples, how to conduct ourselves. It must be practically applied. Then only disciple and guru both. It must be practically done, not sitting at one place, not Bhajananandi, Goshtyanandi. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Wish you all a safe and healthy and blissful Krishna conscious New Year. May Lord Nityananda Prabhu give you spiritual strength, remove all the obstacles on your path, remove all whatever material conceptions we may have. So, Nityananda Matirastu, Krishna Matirastu. If you have any quick questions, you can ask. The temple program already started, I think 8:26. Any questions anybody has on the phone first? Thank you. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead. Yeah, question. What is the question? Right. Correct. Yeah, yes. The one point, one verse I forgot to mention. There from Prutu Maharaj. Prutu Maharaj himself is Shakti avatar, but Lord Vishnu appeared. So Shakti avatar means empowered. He's not Lord Vishnu, but he's incarnation. Shakti one of the empowered incarnate. Then he's been told because he's been a little bit distracted. And this is a very important instruction for all of us also. 4:20:33 तत्वं कुरु मयादिष्टम अप्रमत्त प्रजापते मद आदेश करो लोक सर्वत्र आपनोति शोभनम. My dear king, O protector of the citizens, henceforward be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world. The word used is apramatta. That means very careful to execute my order. Mat adesha karo loka. That's why Prabhupada named as Krishna consciousness. To execute, think, feeling, willing, acting. All about only what Krishna wants. That's why he didn't want to name anything else. He wanted to name exactly what Lord Krishna wants. Do accordingly. So that's why here Lord Vishnu is instructing Prutu Maharaj. Don't be misguided. Don't be somehow or the other captivated or some apramata. Very careful. Very careful. So that's it. So that will only come means by following these natural things as mentioned in the morning itself. We offer when we wake up to spiritual master because we are always greedy for the spiritual master's mercy, his instructions. In that way, by our prayers and by our practical application, so and being careful, then gradually we will be guided. The Lord will guide sincere souls in his heart. As Paramatma is there, a Chaitya Guru, but outside, yeah, that is the fifth type. Fourth is Tirtha Guru, I mentioned. Fifth is Chaitya Guru. Inside Chaitya Guru is Super Soul, is Paramatma, is a Chaitya Guru. But when he comes out, Chaitya Guru will not reveal so much because we are covered right now. So that's why he cannot reveal because we are asking something, so many things according to our punya karma is giving, permitting things. But when we are really submissive and ask, really want to progress, really serious about something, then he will reveal through his representative. So by serving the bona fide spiritual master, then Paramatma also will reveal to that extent. So that is very important. The more we serve spiritual master, founder Acharya, Parampara, faithfully, sincerely, day after day, then gradually our Paramatma will revealing while chanting, revealing while doing service, revealing what to be done, what not to be done, whatever the case may be, while at work, while in business, whatever we may be doing. So in all those scenario situations, in dangerous situation, in all situations, Lord will guide to the extent we are serving the spiritual master and following his instruction. To that extent, Paramatma will reveal. So until that, it cannot happen. Otherwise, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there, but the power, the actual real fructification of the actual effects of the chanting, the power and potency cannot be revealed, realized without his representative. So that's what it is. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else has questions? Anyone else has questions? Okay, no questions. Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. Anyone who's there in the Google Meet? Oh, I can't even click it. No questions on the Google Meet? Any questions? If not, we'll end 8:30. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktan ki jai.